So I'm sitting here in my favorite Chinese restaurant in town. Love this place, good food, great people. And anyway, we've had a couple of conversations about a video that I did of my daughter years ago, where she put a Chinese symbol on her arm, kind of like my tattoos. But it was, I said, "What is it, sweetie?" She goes, "Well, it's a China symbol." And then she went on to describe a few other things about it. And I may post that. I've called it the China Code for a long time because it's a message to China from the Father through the Holy Spirit through my daughter. And just he loves them, and he died for them, just like he died for us, just like he died for Christians in Russia and Christians all over the world that speak different languages. So in a minute, you're going to see how the letter H is pronounced in different languages, and sometimes it's the hard H, and sometimes it's the soft H, like honor and hour, and they use the word hospital. So you're going to look at that, and the point of that is that the way the Jews say the verb HAYAH, they use a hard H, but that is not necessarily so. And there are arbitrary rules in Hebrew, and the teacher of the Hebrew even says to a certain point that she's not really sure why they do these certain things, but it's what's done. It's just done that way. So take a listen at how they pronounce the verb to be. I am. H1961. Hey Yod Hey. And this should convince you that yes, the Father's name is HAYAH. And that when Jesus said, I tell you before Abraham was, I am, he used that Hebrew verb, HAYAH, and they heard HAYAH, and they wanted to stone him because they heard HAYAH, the Father's name. HAYAH is the Father's name, and we need to honor it. And this is about building the temple of God, putting it all together, putting the last stone in, the head stone, which is the Father's name, goes in at the very top. Jesus is the cornerstone. He's what it's all based on. His name, Ayasu, Bar Ayah, Messiah, the Ayahavah of Ayah, the Father. And when we say his name like that, it does glorify the Father, as written in Philippians 2, verse 11, 9 through 11. So let's start doing it the right way. Let's worship in spirit and truth. Let's give glory to his name. Do a search on the name. You'll see. So these other videos, they'll come in. She'll explain. And you will most certainly hear that the verb HAYAH sounds like the name HAYAH and is found as HAYAH on Jerem HAYAH, Obad HAYAH, Zephon HAYAH. All these HAYAH names that declare the Father's name is HAYAH because he told Moses where we would find it on the children. And there it is. God bless. Take care. I hope you take notice of these things. We'll talk again later. Bye.
We call this a hospital, and it's a very important place. So can we all agree to call it a similar name? Sim, hospital. Sí, güey, hospital. Tak, szpital. Sim, hospital. Sí, ospedale. Oui, oui, hospital. Yes, I say hospital. We call this a hospital, and it's a very important place. So
in the Hebrew language of today, in Ivrit, many times people do not use the imperative, they actually use the future tense to express the imperative. You get it out of the context, you get it out of the way people say it. I cannot even say what is right or wrong, it is just what are people used to, how do people use the language. Look at the Hebrew writing, because the Hebrew writing tells you exactly how this verb wants to be formed in the past tense. And when you look at it, the pa'al is only consisting of 3 letters. And here is not only your root, in this case, you are already here in the 3rd person masculine singular past tense. So HAYAH, as it is in the root, is already your past tense. Look at the Hebrew writing, because the Hebrew writing tells you exactly how this verb wants to be formed in the past tense. And when this famous table where we fit in the person that we know which is always the third person masculine singular. And here we are, HAYAH. And from here, you take it. And then we come to Haiti, Haita, Hait, HAYAH, Haita, Haino, Haitem, Haiten, Hayu.
As you can tell, I'm back home. What you've seen reflects how they speak that Hebrew verb. And when she says that, it's just the way they do the language, I want to emphasize that people don't necessarily follow the way the language is written. And we see the way it gets changed all the time. But the fact that over the course of thousands and thousands of years, they still have a verb, HAYAH, that they use on a regular basis, that should not have changed that much and hasn't changed that much. And there is no other verb that exists in Hebrew that the Pharisees could have mistaken as the name of their God, as the name that they knew had to be hidden. And the fact that they got upset and wanted to stone Christ because he used that verb, that cinches it for me. And if it doesn't cinch it for you, I don't know what's going to. I do hope that you will share this message. This cannot be done alone. We are not going to go to the Father's house until we finish this teaching, and the teaching has to go out to other people. And I'll do everything I can do, but I can't make people watch the video, and I can't make them understand it. All I can do is present it. So please help. Please send this out such that we can go home. Because frankly, it's a very short amount of time between now and the 22nd day of the 7th Hebrew month of 2024. And I'm pretty sure 2024 is it, because Jesus tells us to look up. Our redemption draws nigh. When we see these things, when we see these armies surrounding Jerusalem, the armies aren't surrounding Jerusalem yet. It's just the Jews and the Palestinians. But when the Turks and the Egyptians and the other Arab countries come in and surround Jerusalem, it's gonna get ugly. For them. We are not those who are appointed to wrath. We will go up, they will have their war, and it will be a war like no other war. You want to make sure you're going up with the rest of us. God bless and take care. Bye. As you can